The Life of President Eisenhower by Ronan Carmichael and Daniel Williams. Born on October 14, 1890 in a house by the railroad tracks in Denison, Texas, Dwight David Eisenhower spent his youth in the small farm town of Abilene, Kansas. His father, David, worked as a mechanic in a local creamery. His mother, Ida, a Mennonite, was a religious pacifist who opposed to war. Eisenhower did family chores, delighted in hunting and fishing, and football, and eagerly read military history. In 1911, he won an appointment to West Point, where he played football until he suffered a serious knee injury. His pranks, fondness for cards and smoking, and average grades earned him little respect from his teachers. They thought he would be a good officer, but not a great one. On July 1st, 1916, Dwight Eisenhower got married to Mamie Doe. A year later, they had a son named Icky. He died sadly 3 years later from scarlet fever. In 1922, they had another son named John, and he went to West Point like his dad and became a lieutenant colonel in the military and served under his dad in World War II. As a moderate Republican, Eisenhower was able to achieve numerous legislative victories despite a Democratic majority in Congress most of his years of office. He also continued the Fair Deal and New Deal programs, and he added some new ones. The Social Security program, he increased the minimum wage, he created the Department of Health, Department of Education, and the Department of Welfare. And in 1956, Eisenhower created the interstate highway system. During Eisenhower's presidency from 1953 to 1961, many major events happened. One of them was Brown versus the Board of Education, and the Supreme Court ruled that all children, no matter their race, should be allowed to go to whatever school. And Eisenhower was slow to act in the integration of schools, but eventually sent the military to Little Rock, Arkansas to help integration. Eisenhower had many successes during his presidency. One of the notable ones was the signing of the Civil Rights Act in 1957 and his establishment of the National Defense Education Act. Eisenhower died on March 28, 1969 at Walter Reed Army Hospital in Washington, D.C. due to congestive heart failure. Over the years, Eisenhower had always had heart problems. Eisenhower lived a full life of 79 years. Here is the link to our acting part of the movie. Thank you.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusades toward which we have striven these past months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring upon the destruction upon the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in the free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs in 1940 to 41. Our United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our offensive has seriously reduced their strength in air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal a great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together in victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. we will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us beseech the blessing of the Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.